Alright, what's up everybody? So we're picking up from where we left off in the last video somewhat. I've done a few changes just because I didn't want to make the video too long. I moved the actual suspension forward. The front suspension I moved forward, and the rear suspension I moved backward, so it would actually line up correctly. Because when we changed the wheel wells in the last video, obviously the suspension stayed at the original position. So like this right here, let me go ahead. This right here was actually up here, and honestly, if you put the wheels on in the game, you may not even see it or whatever. But you know, if you're really gonna do a car, like, do it right. So you know, just make sure you pay attention to that stuff. And you know, anyway. All right. So if you looking at this video right now, then you're looking at this video for the purpose of learning how to mount rims properly, big rims, right? So precursor to this is I want to let you know, again, this is the way that I do it. I'm not, and by no means, no way am I saying this is the only way you can do it, the most efficient way, the best way, whatever the case may be. I'm telling you this is what I've done, and this is what I can sign off on to say that it works. Other people do things different ways, and as you'll figure out through your journey in ZMODELER, you'll do things different than what other people do it. But as long as you get the finished product is what you want. That's all that matters. So, all right. So one of the things I want to tell you from the get-go, I'm gonna click on this right here, collisions, right? So collisions. I'm not going to go into the whole big lesson about what collisions are, right? But this is what I would tell you. It looks like a collision is missing here. Wait, hold on, let me look. Let me look real quick why that collision is missing. It really don't matter that it's missing, but because I'm not using these wheels. Why is it on the inside like that? Oh, okay. No, it's there. All right, cool. All right. Anyway. All right. So wheel collisions. Wheel collisions are these green things right here, right? So if you've loaded your vehicle and stuff like that, you're probably looking at it and you're like, yo, why do I only have one wheel? What did I do wrong? This shit is messed up. Rah, 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 whatever. No, you didn't. All right? So most cars that you load up to ZMODELER is going to have one wheel. And then it's going to look like it's missing wheels for the rest of them. But what they have is called wheel dummies. Now here this thing goes saving again. It's just so annoying. But anyway, you probably can't see it right now, and I would zoom in, but it's auto saving, so can't use any features right now. So we're gonna have to wait till this finishes auto saving. All right, cool. So it's finished auto saving. Let me try to save it myself. All right. So if you look at this right here, this cube right here, that is a dummy wheel. All right. Now these other cubes, you're gonna see other cubes and stuff like that. They're not all dummy wheels. Like this cube right here, this is for the left side neon. Alright? But for these ones in the wheel well, there are dummy wheels. Dummy wheels meaning that they will take on whatever shape the actual wheel that's showing is. Alright? So if I make this some big huge clown wheel, then the other three wheel wells will have three big huge clown wheels in them when you put them in the game. Alright? I'm not sure why ZMODELER exactly made it like that, whatever the case may be, but that's how it is. So that's how this vehicle is right now. So I'm showing you the wheel collisions. These green things are wheel collisions. They're not the actual wheels. Wheel collisions are important because you need the wheel collisions for the car to work properly in the game. If your wheel collision is too big, meaning as this right here, if this is way bigger than your actual wheel, then your car will actually look like it's floating, right? Or whatever. It won't be on the pavement when it's driving. It'll be like above ground, all right? Um, if it's too small, if your wheel collision is smaller than the actual wheel, then your wheel, like if you're looking at this cube right here, right? If your wheel collision is like, say, the diameter of this hubcap right here, then everything outside of this hubcap will be in the ground. So it'll look stupid. So what you want to do is when you do your wheel collisions, you want to make your wheel collisions a little bit bigger than the actual wheel. So that's why wheel collisions are very important, and collision files, period, are important, because if you don't get them right, your car will do all kind of crazy shit. So anyway, as you see right here, like I said, these other 3 dummy wheels will take the shape of this one. But I'm going to do a staggered wheel approach today. So I'm going to have a wheel here, and I'm going to have a wheel here. So therefore, the right side, the right passenger side or whatever, the right front wheel will take on the shape of this wheel. And the right rear side will take on the shape of this wheel when I upload the wheels. All right, so a lot of people have their rim packages separate and stuff like that. I just take my wheels off of other vehicles that I have already. So that's what we're about to do right now. So I'm going to hide all of this and upload another vehicle. And if it crashes, which ZMODELER does a lot, we're just going to keep on rolling with it, man. So hopefully it doesn't, but we'll see what happens. Alright, let's go in here. 86 Sylvie, we're going to do that. Then we're going to import. Yeah, import. Hopefully it doesn't freeze. Hopefully it doesn't. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, so let's do this. Alright. So we're going to turn that off. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So all I'm going to do right here is I'm going to take these wheels off. I'm not going to use, so this stuff in the middle of the rims right here, those are floaters. I don't think just for the sake of this video, I'm not going to do floaters, man. So I'm just going to take the wheels off. I'm not going to take the floaters. So let's go here, and I'm going to go down to, should I take, I'm going to take the hubs too. Yeah, because the hubs up here look really good. Yeah, I did some custom hubs. So I'm going to do that. Whoops, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to grab this. So, for the sake of this video, like I'm just telling you, the hubs are the brake calipers. I installed some brake calipers up here or whatever that I want to put on this car too. So that's what these hubs are. So I'm grabbing those. And obviously floaters are the floaters, right? And then the wheels, I'm grabbing that. But for your case, you will only be grabbing the wheels off in most cases. You wouldn't be grabbing all this other stuff. But this is what I'm doing for here. I just want to let you know what I'm doing. So I'm going to unlink it. Alright, so it's down there. Alright, so now I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to delete this vehicle out because I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to delete it. Boom. Gone. Alright. Cool. Alright, so I thought that I had, let me go ahead and save this. Save. So let me make sure these are the right hubs because yeah, they are. Alright, cool. Alright. So remember what I said before. I said that when you seen the car before, you only seen it with one wheel on it, right? And so all the other wheels would take the shape of that one wheel. But we're doing a staggered approach. So now I'm going to have a wheel in front and a wheel in the back. But I don't even think I want to stagger these. These are the same, but we'll see. We'll see. I might make the front a little skinnier depending on how it looks when I put it up there or whatever. But, so, let's do this. I'm going to scroll out on that, and I'm going to highlight the whole thing, right? And then I'm going to bring the car back up. The hell? Let me show off. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn that off. Oops. Alright, let me go back to modify. I'm going to move because I want to move the vehicle. I mean, not the vehicle, but the wheels. I don't know, put Y axis up here because I want to be able to move it left, right, up, and down. So I'm going to move them. Alright, so hold on. It looks like, okay, no, it's good, cool. Alright, so let's see how far inside this is. Alright, it looks like it's good on the end, like as far as the inside. Alright. Alright, so as you can see, the rims are a little bit too big. So in this case, normally what I would do is I would cut the wheel wells more and make them bigger, but I don't want this car to be on huge rims. I want it to be on like just a decent size. So I'm going to make the wheels smaller instead of making them bigger, but it's the same concept. All right, so right here, you see how this looks right now? I'm going to go ahead and save this. Alright, so you see how the back wheel is all messed up or whatever. So we got the front wheel pretty much in a decent place. So we're going to draw this box, unhighlight it. Alright, so we're going to hide all. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back. Now, if you're looking at this right here, now this is the original wheels that's on the car that I just haven't taken off yet. And these are the wheel mesh files. For the actual wheel that's showing up there. But I'm not going to go into all that stuff and confuse you right now. But anyway, these are the original wheels. And these are the wheels and the stuff that I added under here. They're not in the actual hierarchy yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the left rear and the right rear. So you see that right there? That's the wheel dummy. So that wheel dummy right there, those are two real wheels. So this one is going to take on the shape of this one when we put it in the game. Alright? And they both have wheel collisions on them. But I haven't turned them on yet, so boom. Boom. Alright, so you see they both have wheel collisions. And this wheel collision is a little further over, so I'm going to have to move it over some so it's correct, but you get the drift. Anyway. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this. So it's highlighted, both of those wheels back there. Let me make sure I didn't highlight that. Alright, cool. So I don't want to highlight the wheel collision and stuff like that because when I highlight the wheel collision, it's supposed to move it, but basically what it does is like they move it to different rates, so it wouldn't be lined up with each other anymore. But if I just highlight the actual wheel and I don't highlight the wheel collision with it, when I move this stuff, it'll stay exactly on it, and I won't have to readjust that wheel collision. So that's why that isn't highlighted right now. Anyway, so again, what I've done is I've highlighted the left rear and the right rear because they were all warped. You see on the car? Let me turn off all this wheel stuff. Matter of fact, let me turn off collisions. Let me turn off wheel. Alright, so now I'm going to pull this back, so I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to pull that back. And I like my stuff to squat, so that's why I had a wheel up there like that. So it looked like it's like pretty much a perfect fit. It is in the back. So really what it is I probably made the back a little bigger than the front. And that's okay. That's cool. So what I'm going to do is, let me look at it, the wheel collision. Make sure it's not going through anything. What I'm doing right here is making sure like the top of the wheel collision isn't going through the body shell, because then that would be a good indication that the wheel is going to go through the body shell in the game, and I don't want that. Alright, so it looks good on both sides. So the rear The rear actually looks good. And normally, the rear is what I have an issue with in most cases and stuff. That's the one I have to mess with the most. But it looks like we would just have to mess with the front on this case. So, what we're going to do here, we're going to unhighlight that. I'm going to put save. Alright, so in normal situations, what we're about to do right now, we're going to highlight the wheel collisions. And highlighting the wheel collisions, basically what we're going to do is we're going to change the size of the wheel collision. Because for the front wheels up here, I want them to be smaller because obviously they're not fitting correctly up here if you look. It looks kind of, to me anyway, it looks kind of janky. And I want it to look nice and fit. I don't want to cut the wheel wells more and stuff like this just to try to make it fit. Why is this acting like that? Let me change this real quick and change it back. Alright. So I'm just going to make this wheel just a little bit smaller. So in your case, 9 times out of 10 what you would do is, like, let's go into it. So I'm going to unselect move. I'm going to go to select. I'm going to press single. So I was already on single. Alright, so I have this square right here. So you want to have a square. You want to go in perspective mode, and you want to go ahead and go into that box. And you want to highlight collision, and then you want to turn L0 off, right? Alright, so here, normally what you would do is you would highlight all 4 of the wheels of the wheel collisions because you wanted to change the size of all of them, right? And you wanted to make them an equal size. But I'm okay with where my wheels are at back here for the rear. It's the front that I need to change. So what I'm going to do, instead of highlighting all of them, I'm going to just highlight the front. So what you do is you right click it. You go over the wheel collision until it actually says, and you right click it and it'll turn blue. And you turn around, you come over here, do the same thing. Alright, so now these are the wheel collisions that I'm going to change. If you want to change all 4 of them and make them all equal heights or sizes, whatever, then you will highlight all of them. But I only need to do these 2 at the time. So now I'm going to go over to properties. So I'm going to scroll down and go to the dummy nodes, right? So X, these numbers don't represent like, 36-inch wheels or 53-inch wheels, whatever. But anyway, so X actually is the width of the wheels, right? So if you want to make the wheels a little bit smaller, like thinner, then that's what you would do. Or thinner or thicker or whatever, then you would manipulate this number. But right now, all we're worried about is how big they are. So we're going to go to Y. I don't ever even mess with Z. So I want to make them a little bit smaller, so I'm going to try going down to like 50. Apply. So I think that might work because it didn't need to go down that much. So what I'm going to do is come back. Matter of fact, I'm going to come here, press L0, see where it's at. So I'm thinking, yeah, that looks like it fits. If you can see the wheel collision, right, it fits it perfectly. And that's what you want to do. You want to have that wheel collision fit the actual wheel perfect. So that when you're in the game, then right here, it'll hit, when it hits that pavement, it'll be right there on the pavement versus if it's not the same height, the stuff that I told you before, the problems that you'll have. Alright, so that looks perfect. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to draw this to unselect that, and then I'm going to come back over here and I am going to go to modify, and I'm going to go to scale, turn Y back on because you don't want just one axis going. Like when you're doing the scale, you want both of the axes on. So I'm going to come over here So it says wheel underscore LF. That's the one that I want to make smaller. So I'm going to come down. All right. If you want to make it bigger, you're going to left click and go up. But I want to make it smaller. So I'll left click, hold left click, and pull it down. So I'll make it a little bit smaller. If you can see that black line, right? That's the dummy, not dummy, I'm sorry, that's the wheel collision. I'll make it a little bit smaller than that. But I'm gonna make it like right there. Alright? So now I'm gonna go back and let's turn this off. That looks like that. Now it looks like I might be a little bit too small. A little bit too small. So what I'm gonna do, I didn't want it that small, so I think I'm gonna go back in there. Let's save it. Let's go collision. I'm gonna do it again. Let's turn scale off. Go back to select. We're already on single, so we can go here. Boom. Right click. Turn over here. Right click. Alright, so I think I put it on what, 53 last time. So we're gonna come over here. Oh, it's on 50? So let's do, I think it was on 53. So let's just do 52. I think 52 would be good. So apply. Alright. So we're going to go back. Structure L0. Remember, we're going to left click. I like that. So we turn back green. And we're going to come back over here. We're going to go to modify. Scale. Remember, make sure these both on. The X and Y axis is on. You see that the wheel collision is a little bit bigger. Like it's really a lot bigger. So we're gonna come here, come over to the left front, because that's the wheel that we that's gonna that's gonna be the model of the right front. We're gonna come over here till it's highlighted and we see what it says, wheel underscore left front, and then we're gonna make it bigger. Whoops, made it too big. I think that will work. Now let's look at it. Let's turn collision off. And I think that will work. It's like right there, but it's not touching. You see? That's not touching. That's not touching. That's not touching. So that looks good. I don't think for this particular file that that there's a texture that I have to add for the tires. So that's another thing that you have to worry about sometimes. So like if you put wheels, if you switch wheels and then you put it in the game and the tires are chrome, then that means you're missing a texture. And I'll save that for a whole other video. That was something that I kept having issues with at first because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was like, why do my tires keep showing up chrome? But I don't. This one I don't have to add a texture to this for the tires, so should be good, man. I know this video was a little long-winded or whatever, man, but you know, I just wanted to be as thorough as possible and try to go through every little thing that I was doing and stuff and just show you it uncut, any errors that I made, any kind of situations that I was thinking through or whatever, because, you know, when people kind of like skate through it and stuff like that, it's easy for them because they actually know exactly what they're doing and stuff like that. So, but you kind of got to play to the person that has no freaking clue what they're doing. So hopefully this helped some people. If I missed some things and you need some clarification, let me know in the comments, man. If you have any questions or any kind of suggestions on another video, like for a ZMODELER tutorial, then let me know. And again, I want to make this clear. This is not the only way, the best way, or the most efficient way to do it. I'm not claiming that. Could be, but I'm not claiming that. I'm just showing you the way that I learned how to do my stuff. All right? So, hey, man, thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.